Hello everyone, Richard back. It's time to review the streets of Moscow. I think this particular scenario is the most fun and the most challenging in 1941, and I think that you could learn a lot watching the first 15 turns of the scenario. It's almost nonstop action and chaos and mayhem, and my approach to this map is different from everyone else's, and I think it's superior strategically. Now, that doesn't mean that the tactics executed were precise. It doesn't mean that I have the core composition correct. I think there are improvements I could easily do, and I'll talk about that when I get to it later. But I think this approach that I'm going to show you is vastly superior. Not vastly. It's mostly superior to every other attempt but Deducters. But I think that my approach is actually slightly better than Deducters, and he's got the, before I am going to show you this playthrough, he had the most dominant performance of the streets of Moscow. And I highly recommend you check out his approach. I think it's really solid. So what you should know, let me just let this run. I am going to do the exact opposite of what everyone tells you to do. So everyone will tell you that it's stupid and foolish to attack the streets of Moscow right away, and or to attack the Kremlin right away. And I'm going to exploit a tactical feature that the Germans have that nobody else has, and that's range +1 artillery. So I bought a 17-centimeter gun at Minsk for this map and possibly future maps. And what the 17-centimeter gun has is +1 range. The other thing is I got 2 +1 range artilleries. I'm going to use these 3 +1 range artilleries to assault the Kremlin directly. It is going to be vicious, it's going to be mean, and it's going to be nasty. And my objective is to take the Kremlin as fast as possible and prepare for the counterattacks. Now, there's certain things that happened in this map I did not plan for that worked out in my favor. There were certain unexpected things. There was some counterattacks coming from directions I wasn't expecting, and it was both bad and good at the same time. I'm going to be taking some ideas from Idle Cleese, and a little bit from Soren, and a little bit from Deducter, and I'm going to put my little twist into it that I think it's better to assault the Kremlin right away. And you're going to see why people don't think this is a smart idea. You know, a lot of you are probably wondering if something is wrong with me when I do this, but I'm telling you it's a good approach. There is a little bit of luck concerning weather, but I still think the approach can work with a little bit of bad weather. But I fortunately had good weather, so I could show you just how vicious this assault on the Kremlin can get. You see that I overstrengthened a lot of things. As far as upgrades go, I think I upgraded my tactical bombers to the J version, and I upgraded the Panzer IIIs to the J. And then that's it. I brought my bridge engineers as cannon fodder, because I don't care about them. I also brought my pioneers to take some damage. You'll see how that worked out for me. And you're going to see here that I'm going to just start this assault right away up north. Also, for some reason, while recording this replay, this screen keeps popping up, but it usually only lasts for a few seconds. So, turn 1 is probably the most relaxed turn, and then it's total chaos all the way through turn 15. And I wasn't, I was rather surprised at how vicious the assault was when I was attacking the Kremlin. Apparently, the Russians don't like it when you do that. But you'll see just how wild it gets. Here, I'm just trying to clear away. I built 3 groups. I have one group that's going for the Kremlin. I have another group that's going to assault up the middle. And I want to do this as fast as I can. It's still going to be very slow. I have another group. This is Idle Cleese's plan. And the idea is you sweep this way and break this down. And you're going to try to outflank the enemy on the west and then work your way up. My idea is exactly like that. I'm going to try to outflank through the north and then grind my way to victory objectives, and block them from buying reinforcements. This plan worked so well that it shocked me at its efficiency. But we're going to get into why it worked so well. It's because the AI did something I was not expecting. And we'll see that in a sec, or not in a second, but like 30 minutes down the line, you're going to see the AI do something that every time I've played this map, I've never seen them do that, but I've never played the map like this before. And the AI is going to really get aggressive against the Kremlin, and it opens the way out west for me to outflank them. So here, I'm just setting up the defensive barrier. I want to break this armor. This worked out really well. I mean, these guys are very weak already. I've taken out this fortification, so they're blind to a lot of things. Now I'm moving my fighters around to protect units. The fighter bomber's bait. My fighter bomber's career is coming to an end soon, so I might as well use it as some bait. Let's see, what happens here? Oh, I'm assaulting the fort. I overstrengthened my elite mountain units because they have high initiative, and I wanted to use that high initiative to take out this fort. And then this fighter came and ripped up my fighter bomber, and that's okay. So you can look at the mini-map over here, and you can see all these units. It's pretty crazy. And I'm going to destroy all of these units, and you're going to see how I did that. So here's something that happened that was not planned. They assaulted my scout car, and they saw that there was artillery back here. And so he was going to outflank me, but I had brought my anti-tank up the road, and it ambushed the tank, so that was really good. That was not planned. I didn't realize that was going to happen. And let's see, I'm just preparing to assault up the Kremlin. There's so many units. I honestly, there's a couple of scary moments in this scenario where I'm like, oh my god, the units don't stop. Yep, now I have to take out the fighters. Or I have to take out the Red Air Force. Once you take out the Red Air Force, you pretty much control the skies for quite a while. So the assault up here is going well. This little counterattack is about to be crushed. The Air Force is about to be destroyed. This fortification looks like it's about to go out. I just took out the Air Force. The scout's gonna die. A T-34, I think that's a T-34-41, got destroyed. Next, I need to take out this tank, and by taking the armor out, I can outflank the enemy here and assault this position. And I love putting my Stug here because it backs up the units that move out this way. I'm beginning the process of trying to outflank. This went very, very well. So once the artillery is gone, this position is very compromised. Let's see. Oh yeah, I definitely need to take out the scout. I'm taking away a lot of vision, so they're kind of blinded to what's going on. Come on. Yep. I'm using my tactical bomber to weaken it. Yep. So this assault went really well. And I'm even able to, I might have even taken these guys out because I have Oladir here. He could just scoot right up and finish them off with his +6 initiative. Yep, this went so well on turn 2, I wiped this out. So I've done a pretty good job of taking out the vision. I just need to take this fort out. Then I gotta mop these guys up. That was really nasty. This was an unplanned ambush. It helps me a lot because this is the last of the armor over here, so I can more freely move up on this side. It's gonna come back. Okay. I took out the fort. That was great. That's very, very good. Next, I need to take this guy out because he can hurt me. Artillery is a pain in the butt on this map. My +1 range is able to hit that. That's really nice. I got lucky here, and my scout killed this. So a ton of vision has just disappeared. There's a bunch of conscripts that can't see much. I might even take this out here. I don't remember. A really good hit, so now I have the possibility of taking that out. This is a nasty assault. Like this is this is me going right for the Kremlin, and I'm not using any subtlety. The other thing that I did is I stuck my bridge engineers here because I was thinking they might. I wasn't expecting them to counterattack, but I thought if they did, they would hold out. There was actually a move here that surprised me, and they did a lot of damage. So my bridge engineers took a little bit of damage I wasn't expecting. In retrospect, I didn't need to make that move. So here comes the revenge of the AI. He can see that because there's a scout back here, right here. Or no, he can see it because there's a fort. So this conscript came out, which was good, but it did a lot of damage to my bridge engineers. But that was bad. I wasn't planning for them to take damage yet. I set a trap here. I didn't know I was setting a trap because there was a fort, but just in case they came out, I had double artillery on artillery, and it worked really well. I'm setting up the push this way. I have to say, I think this assault went really well, too. I'm basically bullying my way west. So this is Idocles' plan. It's to push west and outflank him. I really like it. I think it's a good plan, and it works well with my clever idea. This went better than expected. I took this out, so my tank is pretty safe there. The conscripts, which could be really annoying to deal with, I enticed them out, and so they got blasted on turn 3. That opens up assaulting right at the Kremlin here. 1 second. These conscripts are going down, so my flank is safer, actually, because they came out. I got a really great hit and took out the train. The 88 gun is devastating. Now I'm thinking about if I could take this out, it would blind them some more. Once again, the scout shows up and cleans up for me. Do not underestimate how useful these weak scouts can be. I honestly was surprised at how efficient I cleaned this up. At the cost of 5 damage to my bridge engineers. So I'm already assaulting this fort, which is great. If I got lucky and killed it, it would blind them pretty severely. They only have a scout up here. The other thing is this is a trap. I have 3 artillery pieces, so if anybody wants to come and attack it, that would be great. So now I'm just trying to clean up. As you can see, I'm trying to forcefully move up the middle. I got a good hit on the artillery, and then I had to pick which one to kill. I thought the artillery was a little bit more dangerous, so I took it out. I got lucky that artillery didn't do any damage. The other thing is it's snowing, so I'm refueling. And I'm preparing the assault. I'm sending Rudel. I'm going to use Rudel to assault at the Kremlin. I'm going to use my range +1 artillery to suppress the anti-aircraft gun and then kill it with Rudel. Or try to. Now, it says snowing next turn, and I got really, really lucky that the forecast was wrong, which is what sets up the collapse of the Kremlin so quickly. And you'll see that in a second. So the AI is moving. Yeah, you can see there's a huge counterattack over here. There's actually like 4 or 5 or 6 counterattacks. There's so many counterattacks, it's crazy. Now my 88 gun moves up and is going to help take out this fort. As you can see, I am moving. Like, I am 100% going for the Kremlin unapologetically. I also took out their vision here. So, not only am I going for the Kremlin, but by taking away their vision, it's making it hard for them to react. And he put his anti-aircraft in anti-tank gun mode. So, I am going to eat that thing alive. By attacking the anti-aircraft gun, it opens the way for my Air Force to attack all of these units. So I almost wiped this out, which is fine, because it's going to die soon enough. So my fighter bomber comes here to do more damage to the artillery, which is great. I even get some damage on the scout. You can see the Air Force is coming. I'm throwing everything I can at the Kremlin. And I got 1 point of damage on this nasty KV tank. And there's more armor, so, you know, you can see I'm systematically trying to wipe out this armor. It feels to me like the first 15 turns is just this endless assault of units. Like, you think you're making good progress, and then more of them show up. As you can see, I've broken the middle. This went way better than I thought it would. There's not a lot of resistance here, and because of that, my ability to push in the middle is happening. If I get my units up north enough, I can block counterattacks. Now, I didn't know that was going to be a thing when I played this. I thought that they were just going to slowly keep grinding up north. But as it turns out, they played a crucial role in helping me hold the Kremlin. You'll see that soon enough. Yeah, I took this guy out. This position is I'm already preparing to assault it on turn 4. And then I take out this tank. I have to say, this is going very, very well. I'm already starting to get a presence out in the open field. Yep, I'm just going for the cheap kills. I'm not worried too much about this. So, the thing about this map is this counterattack over here is really difficult to deal with. And I've never seen anyone do it fast. So I'm going to assume that you can't do it fast. People that get through it send a bulk of their forces this way to grind it down. But it means that they're slow pushing up the middle and towards the Kremlin. And my approach is to attack everywhere at once. So that's why in a little bit you're going to see the map light up. It's going to be chaos. Because my forces are engaged everywhere. And it's really efficient if you can make it work. You can see my Air Force, I own the air, right? So I'm attacking everywhere with my Air Force, which is really nice. This is a trap if they see it. Double artillery on the truck. I got, yeah, I thought he was going to reinforce, but he attacked my 88. That was unfortunate. This was crazy. These KV tanks are really strong. And this KV attacks my infantry in the city, which blew me away, and did 4 damage. So he really buffed these guys. But unfortunately for them, my 88 moves up, wipes out the KV. The anti-aircraft gun has been destroyed by Rudel. I'm about to take out the artillery, and the scout is in trouble. If I take out the scout, there's no vision. You know, they're going to be left with this little fortification over here, which can't see that much. I force a surrender on the scout. The whole Kremlin is collapsed. I mean, this position is exposed now. The artillery just went down, and now I can start pushing. It only cost me 4 damage to regular infantry and 6 to bridge engineers. Actually, what was crazy to me is the AI is attacking. They're taking units over here, and they're already attacking me. But that just makes my job easier because I have units that don't have anything to do, so I can use them to attack. And it worked out really well. So this position, like, for some reason, this infantry moved out. So that made this position's about to collapse. And then I did devastating damage here. It's going really well. The AI was really aggressive. I have to admit, like aggressive in bad ways. You know, why did he move this infantry here? By doing so, he exposed his artillery, and I'm going to blast away at it. I kind of got unlucky there that it did damage. So his artillery is now useless. I grab the city. Oh, I just wiped out the artillery. Wow. I should have attacked with the Stuka first. So you could just see that, like, it's turn 5 and already another major objective is under assault. So, yep, and I continue to pound this. This is more bait in case they want to come attack it. So I'm actually making great progress. This entire region looks like I'm on the verge of being able to assault it. You know, this train's going to go down. And my Air Force is stepping up and de-entrenching all these infantry units. I've taken out 95% of the vision that the enemy has. So it's more likely I can set ambushes. Look at this. I'm already pushing up here to the east of the Kremlin. I took out this train. That's good. So I'm really pleased with how the assault's going. There's a couple of little missteps that I made, but they're not huge. Then, you know, look at my pioneers. They're just... This position is all... Yeah, it's over. I forced them out. Next, I'm building up a defensive perimeter around my stug. I'm refreshing Oladir before the snow comes. So I got 2 turns of clear weather on turns 4 and 5, and it makes a huge difference because I was able to wipe out everything. I even get a little bit of damage on another KV, and my 88 gun is right next to it. So turn 6, you know, I might be able to take it out. I didn't realize that this, when I pushed him back, he could see my stug. That was unfortunate. But the only thing that could even reach here was this little tank. So I think this is a T-34-40, fortunately for me. So I didn't take too much damage. I took 2. That's fine. So turn 6, I got really lucky again. It said it was going to snow when I got clear weather. And this is when, like, I'm really, like, I just get really lucky because I got turns 4, 5, and 6 clear weather. So 5 of the first 6 turns was clear weather, and that allowed me to start steamrolling. Meanwhile, useless units they got something to do as well, so I'm able to take out this guy. Look at bridge engineers, they showed up big. Actually, this is terrible that this infantry moved out because the artillery piece is exposed because there's nothing out here except for the artillery piece. So now I think I had to think of something. I need to do something about this T-34. But I took out the easy tank first. This is all part of my plan to keep outflanking in the east. And then Oladir shows up and starts wrecking this unit. Oladir with 6 initiative is just a lot. That is a lot of initiative. That's as much initiative as my tanks. Oh. 1 second. Oh, and then I start attacking his tank. Ah. It's coming back. Here it goes. So I got lucky that the T-34 only did 1 damage. That's fine. My overstrengthening isn't meant to be permanent. It's just there to protect my tanks. Because my tanks cannot handle T-34s. They're really strong in his mod. So this is an unusual battle where I think a lot of people would assume I want my armor engaged in combat. And it's the exact opposite. I want my armor to see as little combat as possible. I want my 88 guns, my Air Force, and my infantry to do dirty city fighting. And it works really, really well. My armor comes out of this in pretty good shape at the end. And that's because I was purposely avoiding fights with them because they're not strong enough to handle the Soviet units. As you can see, it's turn 6 and I'm already assaulting the Kremlin. I mean, this is just nasty. Nasty, nasty. I took it. Yeah, this is, I mean, my flank is protected too. That's good. I resupplied him. I'm beginning the process of protecting my flank, but I wasn't thinking that there was a counterattack coming that direction. I was doing it, like, just for good principle, because my units were weak and I needed something to do with them. But as it turns out, they played a crucial role in this battle. You'll see that eventually. Let's see what happens. Oh, I've really crippled this spot. I'm double dog daring him to attack my 88 gun. Here, like for instance, I put these guys here, and it was good because it protected my artillery. And this was a weak tank, and my infantry held their own. Then this happened, and then I got assaulted by a T-34. I don't even know what version it was. And it walked right into double artillery trap, and my infantry held its own. 1 second. Come on, come back. Come back. Here we go. So my infantry actually didn't take any damage, it looks like. And then I took out that T-34 with my my tactical bomber. So this counterattack is getting beaten back. And there's this 88 gun. This 88 gun has been in combat every single turn, I think, except for one. And it's been destroying everything in its path. I just took this guard unit out. Next, I'm bringing my hero tank up. I want to, I'm getting nervous because I'm realizing stuff is coming, so I need to get some heavy armor up here. This is the guards. These are so difficult to take out. They will attack your tanks on open hexes. So, and Deducter buffed them as well. So good luck. I'm building a wall of armor just trying to like keep this back. And I'm putting Oladir here to protect my flank. I've got most of my super duper heavy hitting units over here just to deal with this. And there's another wave that I'm preparing for as well, but I have to clear this out first. These guards, I think I'm assaulting the guards here. They're so tough that they won't surrender. I've got mass attack bonus, and they're surrounded, and they won't surrender. It's crazy. But every single guard unit I take out is a really big deal. I'm already establishing a presence up here. It's really early to do that. Yeah, then my tactical bomber sucked there. Okay, here's where things get scary. I think this is the turn. I think that now that I'm defeating units at the Kremlin, a tank has arrived in the city. I got lucky that this attacked my tank and not Oladir. Okay, so now it's snowing. That's not good. But I can't complain because I think six of my first 7 turns were clear days, so that allowed me to kind of steamroll the enemy. Now, right now, it's about grinding my way through the Kremlin. This counterattack is about to die. There's a tank in the city. I think I take care of that. You can see I'm shifting. I had bullied my way in the middle so well that now I can shift this way. And it was really smart that I did that. I didn't realize at the time that it was really smart. So now this tank is in a lot of trouble. This is my elite mountain troops with Hero, so I'm not surprised that it just KO'd it. So you can see I'm already preparing to assault on turn 8 these really strong, I think they're 2-star guards. But when all of your support units are gone and I have artillery, it's not going to go well for you. I'm already just boldly advancing. It's like I'm acting like I've already got it won. So a lot of you would think like this was the hard part. Oh, most of the time people consider the game won when you take the Kremlin in a reasonable amount of time. But I think that's the easy part, or it's not easy, but it's less difficult than the aftermath of taking the Kremlin. Because you'll see in a second what happens. Oh, so I took out that anti-aircraft. That was good. So this position is very close to broken. Ah. Okay, there's some... Okay, that's good. I took out that guards unit. What I'm doing with my planes is I'm spying. I want to figure out where the next counterattack is. Oh, I should also mention I wasn't paying attention to softcaf when I deployed, and I was at 98% at deployment. And then I got the Hero Fighter, and I was at 92%. So I lost some prestige from that. But by turn 8, I think I was at 100% because of damage. So it wasn't a big deal. Yeah, these guards are attacking. They're attacking my units. Most of you, if you play like the base game, I don't think they do that. But he made sure to buff the guards so that you have a reason to fear them. Yeah, this position's already broken. So, it's turn 9, and I'm thinking about cleaning this up, and I'm preparing for the next wave, which is what normally happens. But what I didn't realize is that this was the start of another wave. That was the northeastern quadrant. When I took the Kremlin, it aggravated the AI. You can see over here there's another conscript that came in. So like, I took it, and then apparently the Russians don't like you taking the Kremlin, and all of the counterattacks, except for this one, went to the Kremlin. Now, the good news is they don't all hit you at once. The bad news is it's just nonstop fighting. So you don't get a breather when you take the Kremlin. It's jam-packed action. Yep, Oladir sneaks up here and grabs this. So if a tank tries to come down, they'll run into him. I thought there was a counterattack coming, which is what normally happens. There was a counterattack coming, but it was towards the Kremlin. So now I'm really getting vicious. I actually take this turn. So I officially conquered the Kremlin in 9 turns, and then there's stuff coming. The problem, of course, for the AI is I've got an anti-tank, I've got an elite fighting Panzer III, I've got an 88 gun, and I have air domination. So my Stukas can have a field day with what's coming. Let's go here. Yep, I continue the assault. You can see I have 6 artillery pieces here. Okay, yep, I took them out. Now I've grabbed it with elite infantry that's overstrengthened. That's really good. I have an 88 gun that's ready to kick some butt. My scout's just letting me know what's over here. I wasn't thinking they would attack it because the Kremlin was taken, and I was right about that. That's why I risked my scout. Here it comes. So these guys normally go south and engage with me, but they just immediately started going to the Kremlin. And I don't think I had vision on this, so I don't think I knew it was coming. Yeah, look at this. This 6 strength guards attacks my tank in the open and does 2 damage. And that's like a 3-star tank, and they don't care. It's pretty wild how powerful the guards are. So this counterattack dies on turn 10. But the funny thing is, this group has a very easy time for the rest of the scenario, because all of the units go this way. And so this part of the map is opening up for me. Which is great, because my plan is to swing north and then spread out my tanks to block hexes. And it worked very, very well. The only... You'll see there's some consequences for that, though. Hang on. So I'm preparing... Like, I expect this counterattack to come. I'm putting Ola Deer in the woods, backed up by a Stug. You know, I'm doing the normal things that you would expect I need to do. Oh, your poor T-34. So again, you're thinking at this point, like, you know, what's so difficult? You've beat back the counterattacks. Well, yes and no. I even do something clever here. I sneak my scout in to damage the artillery. If you take out this artillery piece, this entire position is compromised. I even discover the leading edge of the first counterattack from the west, which is why I had sent my fighter bomber over there. I think the first 10 turns I played really, really well. Next, I just need to take these conscripts out. Man, these are mountain troops with +3 initiative. They're just so nasty. So you're going, oh, well, that's the last of the counterattacks on the Kremlin. I even send my tank up here, and it wipes out the artillery. I felt pretty good about it because that's my hero tank, and I didn't think the infantry in the city of the major hex would attack me. This could have gone very poorly for me. But I also have 5 spotting, and I didn't see anything. So the only 2 units that could attack me are these 2. And then I attacked this one and weakened it. So I figured I figured it would be safer than normal to attack this unit. I think I'm doing great. You know, I didn't realize what was happening. You know, I'm just gonna stick this over here. My pioneers are doing well. My brand new pioneers are causing havoc. My flank looks relatively safe. I'm already assaulting another major victory hex. I'm even getting cheap shots on units. So most of you would think, oh, well, you know, the difficulty of the scenario is over. And then this is the turn when I realized, wait a minute, something weird is happening. I was really shocked that this plane attacked my Pioneers, and I was even more shocked that it did 2 damage. Like, I was like, wait, what's going on? And then this tank showed up. And then another tank showed up, and I got really lucky that it only did 3 damage. And then the tank is in the city. And then another tank showed up. And I don't see this yet, but I'm starting to suspect something's not right. Look at all these units. They're just flooding. Like I've taken the Kremlin, and total panic, right, from the enemy. I pull my 88 gun back, and it one-shots the KV. And then I have to deal with the T-34. But it's in a city hex, so I can probably deal with it. And again, it looks like, you know, I can manage this. But then, hilariously, I didn't actually force the T-34 out. My idea was to force it out of the city so that Rudel would finish it off. Okay, so Rudel did his job, so it looks like I'm dealing with the counterattack. Next, I need to deal with this other tank. There's nothing, like, you know, it's a little crazy, but it looks like I'm dealing with it, right? You can kind of see I'm moving my infantry into what I think is a safe space. And this already, it's turn 11, and this is about to fall. I even, you know, I'm taking my time. I'm just going to do whatever I want. I'm not going to think too hard. You know, this went down. It looks really good. Like, I've already seized this major objective on turn 11. That's faster than anybody else has ever done it. You know, I'm about to take this guy out. I have so much artillery. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got 6 pieces of artillery. Let's see here. I'm going to take out the Air Force. That's looking good. One second. Let's fast forward. Yeah, look at this. Turn 11, I've taken this objective. I think I only have 2 more major objectives to take on after turn 11. And I've beaten back like 6 or 7 counterattacks, right? I now know that the counterattack is coming to the Kremlin, so I can comfortably send my entire armored group north. I see that there's another T-34. I see there's some guards. But I have really experienced heavy weapons infantry here, so I'm not too worried. But I didn't like... I thought they were going to attack here, so I didn't get too protective of that region. Now here's where it gets scary, is I think that they're moving their armored group over here. Look at this! You know, a KV shows up and is attacking into Pioneers in a city. I almost lost my Pioneers here. So this is where it gets a little scary. It's turn 11, and I realize that there's this huge group of units coming. that normally goes this way, and they're assaulting me in my weakest position. This is where all of my weak infantry are located. They almost killed my pioneers. But they managed to hold together, backed by artillery. So here, it's a Katyusha rocket. It's got to go. This is an extremely weak tank. I feel pretty good about taking it out. I see, there's another T-34 here. There's a bunch of guards. This is another wave of guards, but I got serious power, though. These guys can take forever to kill these. That's fine. So I'm getting squeezed from both sides, but I've run interference. Because I had so efficiently cleaned up the middle, I was able to kind of block them from getting to me. Yep, and this armored group is sneaking by. That was a beautiful kill. My infantry is getting very, very weak. But I have to hold the line. Because now I see there's more units coming. And I think I made a mistake here. I should have retreated because I should have realized that I know there's Katyusha rockets on the left-hand side. I really should have damaged the units as much as possible and then retreated. Because it's turn 12. Like, I have time to retreat. That was a beautiful shot from my artillery. Yeah, this whole sector is falling apart, but there's a counterattack. That's the problem. So I'm getting nervous. So I stick my tank here because I'm like, I'm getting squeezed from both directions. So I'm trying to block it. I stick an infantry here. Just, I'm doing the hope and pray method at this point because I sense that things could get out of control. Thankfully, they have some ammo. And I have excellent scouting, so I have time. I don't see anything immediately about to rush in. As you can see, it's been 12 turns of non-stop action. This is not how most people approach this map. They approach it very timidly. My approach is the approach you use when you want to grow some hair on your chest. And if you guys have been watching my scenario playthroughs, you know I'm very different a lot of the time. I think that for the more complex maps, like direct aggression is a better approach. I also like attacking on multiple fronts at the same time and spreading my forces out, which is a little dangerous. I don't know if I can get away with that in 1942. I think you can get away with it, and I have proven you can get away with it in 1941, just because I do have a high initiative stat that lets me get away with it. That was a beautiful trap. I knew they would see that, and they walked into double artillery. That was great. Yeah, this is really scary. Here everything is coming, and there's a lot of pressure on my units. Katyusha rockets, I need to deal with those somehow. I can see that because of my scout. I got lucky, and Rudel completely wiped out one of the Katyusha rockets. So this attack is a little bit less dangerous than it was before. So actually, I was playing intelligently. I was retreating. Like, I did anticipate this. But I messed up somewhere, and I think this must have been the turn. Because a lot of bad things happened in this sector. My anti-tank, by the way, has been performing extremely well. He got a lot of... That anti-tank got a lot of kills in this scenario. This is my mistake. I moved up. I should not have moved up. I should have retreated and let the tanks come into the city. And I probably would have been out of range of the Katyusha rockets. And I'm going to take a lot of damage from this mistake. That will cost me. Because otherwise, the damage I've taken so far is mostly reasonable. A couple of chip shots that didn't have to happen if I was a little bit smarter. I've had pioneers and bridge engineers and regular infantry take a lot of damage. But they have been protecting my flanks fairly well, so it's been okay. Let's see. I think, is the AI moving here? Yes. Or no, I'm still moving. So you can see it's taking forever to clear this out. But I'd rather have the guards engaged with me here than over here, because I'm pretty weak. Look at the infantry situation. It's not good. My tank is here in case an armored unit comes out, but if this T-34 comes out, then this tank can swing around and deal with it. I also have an 88 gun, though. So I'm already assaulting that north airfield. And I caught out the fighter, and I kill it. I caught out the level bomber. This is extremely good progress. Because of the fact that I didn't have to deal with the second counterattack, my armored units can just fly up north. In fact, this tank, because everybody pushed in, this tank sneaks in the back and starts attacking the train. I just feel like this went very, very well for my units. This counterattack is fine. I've got this under control. My tank is in the back. The KV could come out and play. We'll see. It's turn 13, and still there's wild attacks going on. You would think, oh, I mean, you've taken all but 2 objectives, and most of the counterattacks have been beaten back, but there's still, look at this, there's still all this stuff. And this blew me away. Conscripts came out of nowhere, and they started attacking me. And I have a 5-strength infantry unit, and this is a guard. But then I got lucky, and I did a major hit on it. Yeah, it's just nonstop action. Like there's more units. The units don't stop. I wasn't too worried about this guy because I had rocket artillery on him. Now, because they attacked me so aggressively, I can kind of wipe them out. At this point, since nothing had come from the north, I could probably swing my tank in. But look, there's 2 units here that came out of nowhere. You could see there's a wall of enemy units around me. And it's snowing. It's great. This is a trap. I want the tank to attack my infantry because I got 2 artillery pieces on it. I'm going to conquer the airfield on turn 14. That's really good progress. And now the way east is open. And Oladir is sneaking in with me. I need him to help take some of these objectives. But the pressure is real. The tanks are threatening to outflank me. You can see I'm trying to retreat. And I want to definitely get out of vision range of that. But it's difficult because I've got infantry all around me. I can't block with my bridge engineers because the tank will move up, spot them, the Katyusha rocket will move up and KO them. So I can't do that. That's when I realized I had a problem. So there's this emergency evac that's happening. I should have moved this infantry here and kept double artillery here. But I underestimated the willingness of the enemy to attack into my anti-tank. I really didn't think they would do it. But apparently these T-34s were on a suicide mission. And then turn 14 is going to be really ugly for me. I'm just lucky that I had enough artillery to protect my anti-tank. He did 2 damage. And this one did 4, so now my anti-tank is in a lot of trouble. Yeah, and then he actually did 2 damage to my heavy weapons infantry. That was unfortunate. This was a good trap, I thought. Rocket artillery on the infantry. That was another good trap. They couldn't see the artillery. The infantry kept attacking. So that was like a good turn for me and a bad turn. I think the rocket artillery just is about to come in and hit this. Whoops. I'm lucky the AI is incompetent and doesn't know how to use artillery properly. So then 188 gun takes care of this T-34. I get the captured KV. What's nice is I could sneak my tank in the back here and start attacking the artillery. That was nice. This is an annoying tank. I'm lucky he didn't come out to play, because he probably would have destroyed my Panzer III. So that Katyusha rocket's a serious problem. But yeah, I've got another unit that's severely weakened. However, these 2 infantry are going down, and one of these tanks should go down. So the counterattack is mostly over after this. But something really unfortunate happened. The scout did a great job of attacking this. That forced the Katyusha rocket back, and then I killed it with my fighter bomber, I believe. And I thought my 88 gun would be fine, and this T-34, it might have been a T-34-41. It did 5 damage. That's an extremely expensive repair. I way underestimated. I probably didn't look, at what kind of tank it was. But that T-34 wrecked my 88 gun. That was an unforced error. So the last of the guards here are about to die. And the rest of it, you know, at this point, it's been nonstop action, but there's almost nothing left of the counterattacks. There's basically like 2 units left. And I can begin the process of just sweeping north towards the final objective. So if we sweep ahead here, let's see. Yep, the tank is gone. This is all that's left over here. My scout has been gaining a ton of kills on easy units. So the final thing is I need to punch out west to grab another hero unit. My tank is just going to sit here and accumulate kills. I need to weaken this. That guy is really strong. You have to kill it with the Air Force. Oh, I know what I did. I snuck Oladir in. And with his high initiative, he really damaged the hell out of this tank. And he only did 1 damage to me. So I crippled this tank with Oladir. Once again, you see my tanks are sneaking in the back. And all these artillery pieces are exposed. I shoved my Panzer III this way because I need to go west. Let's move up. Yep, I'm about to take him out. Turn 16. I've almost blocked every hex except for this one. Let's move up. Yeah, by turn 17, everything out here has been destroyed. And all of my units can shift back towards this objective. I think this was really fast and efficient. The amazing tank back here is destroyed. Most of the artillery is destroyed. I've blocked this hex. I've blocked this hex. I've blocked this hex. So that's all good. There's just easy kills here for my weapons. And then I just get all these opportunities to kill artillery. I use Rudel to bomb this cavalry. There's a hero unit, or there's a capturable unit here, so I want to get that. This position's collapsing. Yep, everybody's just shifting that way. We can just kind of forward to the end here. This is all that's left on turn 21. And then this is the final turn. I wiped out every unit. I wiped out every unit 1 turn faster than the Deducter, but I think I had better weather as well. But I also like my plan. You know, you just have to be willing to sacrifice 4 or 5 units and have them get badly damaged. Let's forward. So you'll see the decisive come up. Yep, decisive. So I wanted to do the aftermath. Let me. This is immediately. This is going into Demyansk pocket. Let me get this out of the window. Okay. So this is my prestige situation here. I have to obviously give some of these units elite replacements. What's his XP? Yeah, he's getting close to 3 stars, so, you know, that's probably worth it. I'm definitely going to let him keep his 3rd star, because we're about to go into 1942. I want him to keep his 3 stars. This is expensive. But I think it's important to let him get some XP. I don't care about this guy. What's hilarious is I abuse my bridge engineers and he's 1 star still. Blah, blah, blah. So I got 2 capturable units. I can disband him. I can do this. Disband him. I definitely have to give my tanks elite replacements. Yep. He's now 3 stars. That wasn't so bad, though. I'm definitely giving him elite. He's 3 stars. Let me take a look at his death. So he's almost at 100 kills. He's gonna get 100 kills this scenario. Let's look at the artillery. He took 1 point of damage. Not bad. This guy is over 3 stars. This guy is almost 3 stars. That's good. He took some damage, but he is fine. He took a lot of damage, but I'm going to give him elite replacements. Just to keep his experience up. He's going to be basically an anti-aircraft gun. This guy is fine. And this guy is fine. This guy I don't care about anymore. So regular. I don't care about you. I'm going to sell them next at Vitebsk. I'll sell them. I'm going to buy in this scenario one of these. Because I think I need to get some mobile anti-air. Life is not getting any easier. So I did keep some of my overstrength. Keeping overstrength on this guy is incredible. He's almost maxed out on XP. He's 3 stars with 2 points of overstrength. He's gonna be wild. 3 stars, almost 3 stars. He's at 243. Let's see at this guy. He's at 331. That's really good. He's at 3 stars. He's at 156, and he's at 363. Nice. 3 stars, 3 stars. He's at 299. So my hero tank is almost 3 stars. It's probably going to get there. So I'm at 10,825 prestige. When I started Moscow, I had 10,700. So it basically was a break even, and I spent a fortune. Actually, like 3,000 prestige to get that victory, but I think it was worth it. I got 2 capturable units. I got a lot of experience that I badly needed. That's the other thing is I need experienced units for 1942, so I need to get damage done to my units. I need to get some combat. And you can see I'm very quickly getting experience. So this map, I never read the message. February 8th, 1942, it has not been a pleasant winter here, General. Not at all. While the rain and now the snow have paralyzed our efforts, our enemy has stolen the initiative and launched a counteroffensive. How the Soviets still have reserves left after our previous victories mystifies me, but they must be dealt with. Your forces have been relocated to Demyansk. High Command plans to launch our new offensive from this staging ground, and you have been ordered to hold this position at all costs. While we were marshalling your forces here, it seems that the Soviets have cut us off from the rest of our lines. Fear not, Herr General. I have been assured that our glorious Luftwaffe will be supplying your forces from the air. Your mission is to hold the lines around Demyansk and protect the supply airfields from the advancing Soviet forces. The vast majority of these attacks will be coming from the east, so prepare your initial defenses accordingly. In addition, holding your objectives, you are tasked to escort a series of supply carriers directly to the various supply airfields within your perimeter. Simply leave the supply carriers on the supply airfield to fulfill this assignment. These transports are being sent as soon as they are prepared. Be ready to divert fighter escort to them at a moment's notice. These Junker 52 supply carriers will be entering the region from the west, and you should expect the Soviets to make every attempt to intercept them with fighters or shoot them down with ground-based air defense. Oh, is that everything? Yeah. This is an easy scenario if you don't want to do anything, but you guys know me. I kind of like pushing the envelope, and I can be very ambitious. So I'm going to try to do more than just sit there and easily hold this defensible position. Uh, I think the best I've ever seen is Soren. I think Soren had the best playthrough of this scenario, where he took everything but these two and this one. I think he took all the objectives except for these two and this one. Deductor, I think, took all of this and most of this. Now, I have played this scenario, and I have successfully taken everything on this side. I have wiped out every single unit on this side, and I think I took this objective and this objective, and I don't think I took this objective. But the problem with doing that is it is really, really expensive. The counterattacking units are very numerous. There's a lot of Katyusha rockets. There's just a lot of stuff, and I don't know if I can develop a plan to effectively deal with it. I don't know if I can take every objective, but I'm going to try. And one of the ideas is once you beat back the counterattack down here, you gobble this up. I'm going to bring my 5-range scouting unit down here. I want to like poke his head out and see where everything is. And if I get a good moment to send Rudel down here to take out the anti-aircraft gun, I will do it. And if I can take out the anti-aircraft gun, then I can bomb this region and then try to like sneak a scouting unit in here to take it. I mean, potentially even I might take Ola Deer and send him this way. I'll have to think about that very carefully. Because if I could grab these two spots, that would be great. If you take this objective, there will be a counterattack that will go here. I actually probably want... Ola Deer here. Just so he can survive this counterattack. But anyway, I don't know if I can take every objective. I will try. I think it's very difficult. I'm going to be much more ambitious with my units. I think people kind of let them sit here, and I think you can use them. Okay, so deployment. So I'm not bringing... I'm bringing my fighters, but I'm no longer bringing Helmut Lent, this guy, and I'm no longer bringing this guy. The good news is I haven't invested anything in them that I can't get back. So, you know, especially since they were both given to me for free, I don't feel too bad about it. So, they have served me well, but their time is coming to an end. I need mobile air. And I need mobile air somewhere, maybe here. I might actually bring the mobile air this way. Or do I bring it that way? I don't know. I'll have to think about that. Ola Deer. That's a lot of overstrengthening. That's not necessary. I'm defending, right? So I should be very careful. I want my cavalry unit. Yeah. If I'm under attack, then I definitely need attack +3 artillery. Okay, yeah, I have to think about this. How many kills does this guy have? He got over 100 kills. That's nice. Attack +2. I think I will stick some artillery here, and I want... I think I want a mountain unit here. No. I want a mountain unit here. And I want... This is the safest position to be in after I clear this out. I will have vision here. I need a tank here so I can see what's going on. I want another tank here, and I want Stugs. Probably my strongest Stug. I think I want both Stugs out here, so stick you here. Do I want my infantry up front? That could be very dangerous. Maybe. Maybe I stick this guy up front just in case. Just in case there's Katyusha rockets. That's what I'm really nervous about. And then I can stick a Stug here. And I want Oladir here. I think they're going to come this way. I also think I should stick an infantry here to block this. Stick them in the woods and block this. Do I want a Panzer IV here? Okay. I need to overstrengthen him a lot. How much is it? Okay, I'm going to overstrengthen him again. Here. I think I want my Katyusha rockets. Want you here. I think my Katyusha rockets will benefit the most. Not my Katyusha rockets, but I think having these guys here makes a lot more sense. Where's my attack? Attack +2. Okay. Okay. I also need 88 guns. Like here. I think I want an 88 gun. Stick you here. I think there's some nasty tanks down here, and I want my defense +3 ready to go. I have more artillery. I don't know. Oh, I need infantry. Like who? Like, I definitely want heavy weapons infantry down here, and I think I need some artillery down here. You can go here. Range +1 would benefit in this region. And they have trucks, so that means they can more quickly move around when they need to. A Panzer IV. I think I want a Panzer III here, just in case they try to flank me, and then I want a Panzer III here. I don't know if I want my Panzer IV. Actually, Panzer III here, and I want my Panzer IV over here. I think it's just the armored resistance over here isn't that much. I want a scout here to go south. I want another scout here. I know that there's nothing coming this way, but I want him ready to kind of tell me what's going on. I need artillery. So I've got 2, 3, 4. That's good. What I don't have enough of is artillery here. So the question is 3 artillery this way good enough? I'm not convinced. I think I have too much artillery down here. Okay, this is good. Everybody's taken. Let's see. I'm at 100%. That's good. Okay. Let's see what the enemy does. Holy mackerel. Okay. That went well. How did you see that? Okay. Is that the last of your evil planes? Oh, you put yourself in the woods. That's really good. I'm in the trenches and I'm a pioneer. Oh, and I got a rugged defense. Awesome. Oh, that was lucky. That was really lucky. That tank is going down. My God. It doesn't stop. Okay. Holy crap. Oh, that was a lot. That is a lot. I forgot how much there was. The good news is I should definitely be able to take him out. I got pioneers ready to go. I have a Panzer IV. This is great. For instance, if I could... I also have an anti-tank. Oh, like if I... Yeah, that's going to be really good. Okay. I've got cavalry. I actually have excellent vision with what's going on over here. T-3441. KV-1A. KV. T-34, yeah. So, I'm just thinking about this. It might make sense for me to retreat, actually. Even though, oh man, that could be a surrender opportunity. Okay. That's what I'll leave it with for now. I am at 100%. And I get 25 prestige a turn. Awesome. Anyway, until next time, Richard out.